Hello there, running I know it's been a couple weeks. I'm sorry about that. I went on vacation. A lot of stuff broke. Then I had to do some personal things. Now I'm back. I'm going to do 2 videos this week. I know that the digital event guide for the marathon weekend has dropped. And yes, I'm going to do that video. We're going to go over the whole thing. That's going to come out on Friday. I'm hoping to have it out by Friday, but I should have it out by Friday. But we're going to go over everything that's been going on. We got some direct information, we got indirect information, and then we just had registration last week for the Halloween, and we're going to go over what happened there. But before we do, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Channel keeps growing. Please keep asking questions, keep interacting. It's been a while, so that's my fault. But some people have interacted with me on social media. I've even seen some of you guys at the parks. I hope it continues to go that way. I love interacting with you guys, even getting on rides, doing different things. It's awesome. Without further ado, let's get to some news. So the first bit of news, which I'm really excited about, was we had the medal drop for the springtime surprise. The weekend, it was awesome. Let's take a look at them. So first of all, for the 5K, I think this looks great. Groot with a cassette tape. This was awesome. I love this picture. Of course, we love Hercules with the little chain in the background. This looks awesome right here. 10 miler is Mr. and Mrs. Incredible. And of course, for the challenge, we got Baymax. This is a cool one also. So what did you guys think? Now, I looked at them individually, and my favorite one obviously is Hercules. The Hercules looks really cool with the little chain on the side. It doesn't look like it's much of a spinner. I don't think any of these are spinners, or if they are, they might just be movers or something like that. But that was my favorite one. I love the Groot one, especially because it has the cassette tape in the back. I thought that was pretty good. I love the Incredible, so I think that is a great one too. And of course, I'm a big fan of Baymax, so Big Hero 6, it was great. The only thing, and I said it before and I'll say it again, to me, the theming doesn't make sense. It makes more sense at Disneyland because you have the Incredicoaster, and then you have San Fran Tokyo. So those two, the last 2 medals that I talked about, they seem to go better over there. Hercules kind of can go anywhere because he doesn't have any representation in the parks. Groot obviously has representation in both coasts, so he's fine there. But what are your thoughts? Did you like the medals? Did you not like the medals? Now, I noticed that we're going to come up to that in a little bit, but we noticed that all of a sudden the challenge sold out, so maybe that had something to do with it. So the other bit of news that just dropped is that the Brooks shoes are going to make their debut at Springtime Surprise. So this coming April 2025, that is when they're going to make their debut. They made the announcement about a month or so ago that they were going to be the official sponsor. The shoes are coming back. I'm looking forward to seeing what they look like. I'm not sure if I'm going to get them, but I do want to look to see what they look like. And now we know when they're going to be coming out. They will be coming out Springtime Surprise 2025. So are you excited about that? So now we're going to go to the other side because we're going to start talking about Disneyland. It's going to lead us up to what happened at registration. But for those of you running in late January, early February for the Disneyland Half Marathon, not the Halloween, but the regular one, we get to see the trolley, the last bit of the trolley. It goes away, I believe, February 8th. And this is the article right here, so you guys can see this. But February 8th, I believe, it's going to be gone. So that's going to be gone for good because they're going to remove it because part of Avengers Campus is going to be expanded to where they come from. So you're going to be able to ride it. But with that said, we had the calendar of events all the way throughout the year 2025 come out at Disneyland. So this is what we can tell as far as are they going to affect any of the runs. So before we even do that, guys, let's take a look at that so you can see what it looks like. So here is a calendar for Disneyland's 70th anniversary and the calendar for next year. I wouldn't do it justice if I went really quickly through it, but I'm going to highlight the ones that affect us. So first off, the Lunar New Year is going to be January 17th through February 16th. So that will overlap with Disneyland Half Marathon weekend. So what does that mean? So the Lunar New Year celebration is basically Asian. It's a lot of food, a lot of different characters. I'm excited to see it because I've never ever been there for that. So I'm excited to see the new celebration. I've been there for other celebrations, but not for that one. So I'm excited to see that. I love Asian food, so I'm gonna see if there's any kind of new dishes or any kind of limited edition dishes, because I know in San Fran, Tokyo, they have some of the stuff out there. But that's what we're gonna be seeing early in the year. Now, for those of you who are running the Halloween, and we're going to get to registration shortly, you're going to notice that the dates of the Oogie Boogie Bash are, again, the Tuesday before and the Tuesday after. So I believe it's the 2nd and the 9th. So we will not be able to do it if you're going to be there for that weekend, unless you get there a few days earlier, or you stay a few days later. Now, last year, or this past year, I should say, because we're still in 2024, I actually did the Coast to Coast Challenge when it came to the Halloween parties. I might do that again, and as we get closer to the dates, I'm going to, especially the dates of registration, when we do the videos, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to ask you guys to see if anybody wants to join me. It was actually pretty cool. It's very tiring because I did the Mickey's Not So Very Halloween party on a Monday night, got up about 2 to 3 hours later to get the shuttle to go to the airport, flew the first thing in the morning, got over there at about 1 o'clock the Pacific time. I was able to check into my hotel, went straight over there. The lines were already long. I was able to get in there, and I was able to survive. Over there, they closed a little bit earlier. It was about 11:30. I was able to survive that. Then I was able to rest before the runs. But that is actually pretty cool to do it. But I really wish that they might even give us an alternative to do it the night of. But this past year was so darn hot that I probably wouldn't have survived it. I was just so spent. I mean, I didn't have any more energy, so it would have been money that I would have probably wasted. I might have, once I was there, I might have gotten a little bit more energy, but all I know is that right after that run, especially with the heat, I did not have the energy. It took me about 5 or 6 hours just to get up out of my bed to be able to move around. And I did go to the parks for a little bit. I only spent about an hour or so there. Then I went back because I was just so drained. But I think to myself, maybe that's for the best, for the simple reason that we're just going to be so tired. But thoughts? Would you like to see the Halloween party the night of, after the half marathon, or is it okay for you guys to get there a little bit early or stay a little bit later? So now we're going to go over to Disneyland. This is going to be the topic of today, the Disneyland half marathon weekend, because it did not sell out. It's still, to this moment right now, today is December 10th, and it's about noon. So at this moment in time, the only thing that has sold out is the 5K and the 10K. And then if I look, the 10 miler still remains open for springtime surprise. So I started seeing a lot of posts, and a couple of people did ask me, what do you think is going on? Are they just losing their popularity? What's going on? So then I started thinking to myself, a lot of people like to speculate. I'm not one of them because I don't 100% know what's going on. But I thought to myself, it would be a pretty cool little exercise to see what people think about why they're not selling out. So first off, I'm not going to go to any conspiracy theories because I don't think it's cool to just go with them and run with them and then start these innuendos and these rumors that are not true. So we're not going to go over any of those. So one of the things that people think, and they actually are speculating, is that the Disney runs are no longer that popular. They are losing their value. They're losing their charisma, whatever you want to call it. I personally don't think that's true, for the simple reason that the Wine and Dine, the Marathon Weekend, and the Princess sell out pretty quickly, and those are still the more popular ones. If you look at the top 10, 15, 20 runs in the United States, those three are usually in there, especially the Marathon Weekend and Princess Weekend. So I just think that it's a few runs. So now the other thing that people say is maybe the Disneyland runs are not as popular. And you know what? The Disneyland run this coming January, February, that's coming up, it took a little bit longer to sell out, but it did sell out pretty rather quickly. So I don't think that has 100% to do with it. I think that a lot of people, and I do see this argument, we run especially the half marathon mainly on the streets of Anaheim, and the streets are not the best. There's potholes everywhere. You watch my videos when I'm recording, we have seen people, you saw me stumble. So we have seen people that at the aftermath of them falling and and so skinning their knees and so forth and so on. So it's not the best. So I can see the argument that, hey, maybe they should do something better. And I do believe that Disney, part of that that forward project that they have going on, is they are going to renovate some of the streets. I hope so, because it's not the best to run on. So the next thing that I think is really a viable explanation is they get expensive. So people have to start choosing. And again, we mentioned the top 3 that are very popular. They're expensive. You're doing the Dopey challenge. You're doing the princess, the slipper challenge, whatever it's called, the fairy tale challenge. You're doing that wine and dine 2-course challenge. After that becomes pretty expensive. And then add on top of that the hotels, the travel, especially when you are traveling, because most people that travel, and it is a destination run for probably more than 90% of the people, it's a destination run. So that means there's going to be a cost involved, and a high cost involved, because Disney is not cheap. So people need to pick and choose. They got to sit there and go on like, well, which one am I going to go to? And a lot of people are settling for the other runs when they can't get in there, but it is a destination run. The other thing is past experiences. And one of the things is, if you remember Disneyland earlier this year, when they first came back in January, they were not ready. And it was very obvious. So the customer experience, even my customer experience, was not at a high level, not at a Disney level. I think that they got better, in my opinion, they got better for the Halloween run. But by that time, a lot of people already had the bad taste in their mouth. And on top of that, you added the heat, the extreme heat. Now, I'm going to say this, because I look at the weather all the time, and at Disneyland is a lot more predictable than Disney World is. So Disneyland, I got to see that the week before and the week after was actually not that bad. That week was an anomaly. It was really weird. It was really hot. So even I said it last time, a couple weeks ago when I did the video, I said, is it going to be that hot? I don't think so. I don't know 100% though. But yeah, it was an anomaly. It's usually not that hot, but this was hot. So now I think a lot of people are saying, I don't want to run in that heat. I don't blame them either, because it was not a great experience to say the least. But that might be another reason, is because of experience, of a bad experience during the runs. Another one is just word of mouth. People will actually, they find they had a bad experience. We just talked about that. They had a bad experience, so they'll put it up on social media. And some people will go, on rants, and they'll go, they'll post a lot of different things of what went wrong. So people read it and they start saying, yeah, I don't think I want to do that. And so that's another reason. And again, the Disneyland Marathon are just starting to get their feet wet again. So the Disneyland runs, I should say, are just starting to get their feet wet. So they're getting better, and I do believe they're going to continue getting better. But I think that's another reason. Now, when you look at it and you put it together, I think overall it's a combination of things, because we talked about how expensive they're getting. So now people are starting to look and saying, well, it seems like the better weather ones are, so they start picking those, which again starts taking away from the springtime surprise and of course Halloween. So that's one thing. The other thing is, remember I said these are destination runs. When you really think about it, local runs, which are great runs, I'm not gonna badmouth them either. I actually, if you can do a local run, do it. Usually they're put on by small companies who do need it. They're not as big as Disney, but they usually do a very good job. I know the people here who actually put the runs on, and they're fantastic. They're great. If they put on a bigger run, I think they'd be out of their element, but they would do their best job, and I know them, so I know they would do this. So when you really think about it, but it's not a destination run. If I'm doing my runs here, if I do any of the half marathons, the 5Ks, local 5Ks, it's not a destination run. I just have to find a place I gotta wake up in the morning, I gotta go park. It's usually not as early as it is at Disney. I go and I park. It's usually not it's not that expensive to park, or it might be even free to park. Then you run, you get your medal, you get your banana, you get your water, you interact with the local people, and then you leave. In Disney, again, it's a destination run. It's more of a spectacle party, so forth and so on. So again, they charge more. There's a lot more cost involved. And again, people again have to pick and choose because they get expensive. Once you think to yourself, and remember, there used to be 8 of them, and people would do all 8 runs. And I'm gonna back up a little bit. There was 9 because people would actually go to Disneyland Paris and do that. It gets really, really expensive. I mean, we're talking in the tens of thousands of dollars, and not a lot of people have that disposable income. Now, add a family, it starts getting more and more expensive. So I can easily see why people are picking and choosing. And again, the marathon weekend is the most popular one. That's in January. The weather is usually a little bit better. It's a longer weekend. Hey, we can take a longer trip. We can stay a couple of days later. We can get there a couple of days before, whatever it is, and it can make it a family vacation. Princess is still very, very popular. It's a great run. It's 90%, 85, 90% female, and so they have a great time doing it. It's a great run overall. We get to run through Cinderella's castle, princesses, queens, all the way throughout. That's awesome. And then Wine and Dine, which is my personal favorite. I love doing it. I've been doing it. I'm perfect in that run ever since it opened up for the 2-course challenge. I've been doing it, and I have a blast. I love going to the after party. I love going to seeing the concerts during that time. So those are the selling points. Again, they try with the after party for Springtime Surprise. That to me is not going to sell out. I don't think it's going to sell out. But that's going to be some of the reasons why I think that these aren't selling out. Do I think that Springtime Surprise is going to sell? I'll go to Springtime Surprise first. Yes, the challenge just sold out. So I foresee that the 10-miler will sell out. It's just a matter of time. Do I think the Halloween will eventually sell out? And of course, the 5K is already sold out. The 10K is already sold out. Do I think that the challenge and the half marathon will sell out? Yes, I do believe that they're going to sell out too. That one might take a little bit longer, but again, I might be surprised. It might be during the Christmas holidays. People just say, they buy them for their relatives, and so they'll have something to do later next year. So I think they're going to sell out. They're just sell out slower. So that's the other thing you got to look at. But overall, I don't believe that runs are losing their mystique. They're not losing their popularity. I think it's just kind of like shifting, and again, the money, and they get more expensive every year. So I think that's just a little bit of a shift, but you'll continue to see these runs sell out. I don't get into a lot of the speculation, and I know I see a lot of stuff online. I don't even comment on that because I don't know. I don't 100% know what's going on, and I don't want to comment, start a rumor, and then people get mad, and people, start choosing sides and so forth, and it's not worth it. So, but is there any other comments that you would like to add? Because I know that I just went over a few of them, about 5 different reasons that I think that they're not selling out right now, or they sell out a little bit later. But anything else that I missed? So I'm not going to say goodbye yet until I talk about what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. I'm so used to doing that every week, so I'm just say I was about to say last week, but that dinner that we're going to have with the Parent Project MD, so the Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, and I have an extra ticket, and so I was looking at getting 10 people to donate, and you could at $10. So and if you pay $30, that's 3 chances to get in there. So we already got the 10 donations, so we already got that. But I'm still going to add the link below. So if you want to do it, I'm going to add some pictures at the end. I think I said that last time and I didn't. This time I have the pictures, because not only are you going to interact with other runners, you get to see what a charity really looks like. So if you're interested in running with a charity in the future, you can actually see how it affects, because we will be around people who are have whatever disease. In this particular case, it's going to be the Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. So you'll get to meet the great people who actually have it, the great people that run the charity. So you'll be able to ask them questions right there. On top of that, this is the ice cream on the cake. And again, $10 a chance. So I'm going to do the drawing by December 31st. I'm going to do the drawing. If you win, you get to have pictures, and you're going to see them in a little bit. Pictures with Mickey and Minnie in their jogging outfits, or that's what they had earlier this year. So I'm assuming they're going to be the same. So we've already been told that they're going to be there. and you get a pasta dinner. Now, it's not this big elaborate, but it does have some good food, and I'll show the picture because I did take a picture of the food at the very end. So I'm going to put the link down below. So as long as you donate $10 or more, if you donate more, if you donate $20, that's going to be 2 chances. If you donate $50, that's 5 chances. So that I'm going to put your name, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to record it, and I'm going to pull the name out so that way everybody knows that it's fair. And I'm going to put then I'm going to announce who is going to be coming with me. Now this is going to be the Friday of that marathon weekend, and it's going to be at the Contemporary. It's going to be, I believe, from 6 to 8. So we will have to meet there. We'll probably meet there a little bit earlier than 6. Go in there. We got to check in, take advantage for a couple of hours, and then go back and rest because we got to run the next day. But and please, 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 when you make the donation, put on their marathon dinner. That would be a great one. Just put marathon dinner, so that way I know and make sure I have your name. If I don't have your name, I'm going to use whatever is up there. And when I announce it, please, you got to reach out to me to make sure that we get you there, and we make sure that, we can get you there and have that experience. It's a great experience. I've had the experience now twice, once at Marathon Weekend, once actually here at the Halloween weekend, which we might do that one also again. But if you have any questions, please ask them below. Thank you very much for your time. I'm not going to skip out a week anymore, I promise. Christmas maybe, but I'm not going to skip out a week anymore. But again, any questions that you have, please comment down below. Keep subscribing to the channel. I'm going to just say it. Thank you very much for your time. Create a magical day. Create a magical run. And guys, see you sooner than later.